Hi, Interior Design Show. My name is Emily. This is my home in London. Come on in. Such a feature that becomes the element that everybody talks about when they walk into this space. I really love to spend time in our garden, come rain or shine. I think it really lowers my cortisol and stress levels. It's a typical rainy and gloomy day in London, but I was told that I must show you the front of our house. And this is our front garden as well as the front of our home. It didn't used to look like this, and it was actually pebble-dashed and covered with PVC windows. The first thing that we wanted to do was relift the curb appeal and make it a lovely place for us to come home to after a long day at work. So we reinstated the double sash windows, and it brings a little bit more of an heritage feel to the original feature of the home. We also redid the front portion of this garden. We wanted to bring some green in. We also put new pavers down to make it a bit more homely, so the entire front garden and the front facade has just been livened up and refreshed. So let's go in. It's really cold and really wet. Come on. We are in my front entrance hallway at the moment on the ground floor. This space we wanted to bring in a lot of color, bring in a lot of artwork, a lot of storage as well. Front entry spaces are oftentimes where everybody kind of sheds their winter clothing, their shoes. So under the stairs we'll see some storage cabinets that are drawers that we can store lots of our boots and shoes and kind of cycle through winter and summer clothing and items. And then we wanted a really big mirror by the door because why not? We need to make sure that we're decent before we leave the house. Art is also something that I collect. I'm a really big advocate for supporting independent emerging artists. There are loads of artwork that you'll be able to see throughout our house. There's this really big one here, very romantic. I really love seeing this when I come home or whenever I leave the house. And then this is our staircase. It's a runner that I also recently sourced and installed. It's just something that's a little bit unexpected. It brings in a lot of pattern and a lot of layering and texture into this room. So it's incredibly functional, but also just something that is a bit warm for us to come home to. So the first room that I'm going to show you guys will be the kitchen. So come with me. So this is my kitchen in our home. We did a rear extension, as most people do with terrace homes in London. We wanted an open space to make sure that there was a very nice flow throughout the entire ground floor area. So this is our kitchen and our dining area that leads into the garden straight away. One of the biggest design features that I think a lot of people talk and love about is the floor. So they're quarry reclaimed tiles that we sourced from a reclamation yard, and we had laid it throughout the kitchen. It's really durable. It's very hard wearing, and such a feature that becomes the element that everybody talks about when they walk into this space. And then our bespoke kitchen unit was designed by me, crafted by our joiner, and we wanted something that was warm but very simple. The moment is happening on the floor, so whatever is happening in the kitchen needed to be functional but also beautiful, and felt like I needed to give it some space to breathe, and I didn't want too many competing elements that shouted for attention when you walk into the room. And you'll see lots of warmer colors in our home. I'm a very warm toned human. It kind of speaks to me most. So you'll see lots of reds, terracotta hues, yellows throughout the entire scheme. But this shelving unit is the element that houses all of our ceramic. I am an addict for pottery, so I collect them, I make them, and I display them. All my friends and my family come in here and we have dinner and lunch. This is what they use, and they can welcome themselves to anything in our home. So you'll see lots of warmer tones in the scheme throughout the house. I'm really a warm toned person. So you see that within our kitchen joinery, on our floor, but also in the timber baffles in the side extension. So this is an element that was very much designed and was an opportunity to kind of help us ground the space a little bit more. It adds a lot of rhythm. It does really good job at sun shading. It casts really lovely shadows. It's not a cheap element or a cheap feature to design, but I think it was very well worth it. So when we went into planning for the kitchen extension, we initially wanted a box extension, but planning had poo-pooed it, unfortunately. So we needed to think of a way to reiterate the space so that it was pitched on the side. When planning kind of says no, oftentimes people think it's a missed opportunity, but I think often when you sit down and put a little bit more thought on it, there's great areas to become a bit more creative, push the fold a little bit more, and see it as an opportunity to do something like this, which is quite wonderful, beautiful, and had they not, this wouldn't have existed. So natural light also was a very important element in our extension. We face south into the garden, so we get loads of natural light. Had we not had the skylights, I think we wouldn't have been able to have that opportunity to sit in this space and really enjoy the outdoors as well. This skylight here, just above this area of the house, is also really nice. The skylight is operable, so it opens when maybe sometimes when the cooking gets a little bit really intense or when it's too hot in the summer. So having an operable skylight was really quite thoughtful in making the function of the home a little bit more suited to us and the way we live. So open shelving was an element that I was adamant about because of cost restrictions. I would have loved maybe if we had more closed upper cabinets and shelving, but actually open shelving is a lovely opportunity to show a little bit about you, your character. I love people coming in, being able to help themselves to glassware, to bowls and plates in our home. So it does require a lot of maintenance and you do need to clean it probably once a month. But I love it. I wouldn't have it for anything else. It adds a lot more dimension to the space. It keeps the space feeling a little bit more open rather than closed cabinets. Yeah. And then this is the pot filler. The pot filler is a feature that I absolutely love. I use it every day, even though everybody tells me it's really close to the sink. I know it's really close to the sink and the tap, but I eat oats every morning and this is what I use every morning within the first couple of hours that I wake up. Give me so much joy, and sometimes I think we just need a little bit of joy for ourselves and our homes, even if it's nonsensical to other people. On the topic of little moments in our home and little joys that our house gives us, this is our window seat that takes a look out into our garden. I didn't know that I was going to be a gardener when we were doing this house, but I'm a huge gardener now. I really love to spend time in our garden, come rain or shine. I think it really lowers my cortisol and stress levels. And this window seat was designed to kind of frame that garden view, as well as be a place for our dog Harold to sit in and ponder and be the purveyor of the garden. So he gets this little feature. And I love when design thinks not just of humans, but everybody, every pet in the house too. So this is our garden. It's a really rainy day, so we won't go out today. I absolutely love our garden. We had a garden designer, Susanna, who helped me craft this dream space. Initially I wanted lawn, but lawn is pretty hard to maintain in London and not very ecologically friendly. So this garden in the winter, it's still so much life. There's so much to look at. It's so layered and naturalistic. I'm planting bulbs, and there will be bulbs kind of springing up now with summer closing in. But even now that it's raining, it still looks great. I really love it. A little oasis in the urban London. It's almost Chinese New Year. Every year I host friends wherever. Sometimes it's in our house, sometimes it's outside in restaurants, but it's a huge party, and it's a huge tradition that I've brought to my friendship circle and people I have in London. So I'm having one on Saturday where 25 of us will be here for the day. I cook a lot. I'm making jello shots. We have cakes, we have games, and do presentations about the cultural aspect of Chinese New Year. This is a lovely space to host people. I think it's created and crafted so many lovely memories for me and my friends. If we ever sell this house and if we ever move on, that's kind of the legacy that I want to take on for me and for people around me. I love eBay. Most often you'll see me kind of answering most of the questions about where you got stuff from. It will be from eBay. This solid timber table, oak table, was from eBay that we sanded, restained. It kind of shows imprints of our life on it now with some watermarks, rings. Yeah, it kind of ages with us, and I really like that. We have played many of beer pong on this table, and it gets really rowdy. So, and this kitchen island, we wanted it to look like a standalone furniture item, so I designed it to make it kind of lift off the ground. Kitchen islands oftentimes are really heavy and bulky items that really weigh and sink into the floor, but I wanted something light and airy and just lift it upwards. It's a space that we put most of our cutlery, most of our little bits. There's an everyday drawer that's in here. It's designed to also have power, so we work, and I work on the island during most of the day. It's just more upright, and it kind of serves me as the way that I work. So we're gonna come to our downstairs toilet here. It's a little powder room. It's tucked into the very middle space in our house. And it is a bit unusual. It's tucked away so the door faces the hallway side of the kitchen, so it actually feels a lot more private than what might it look like on plan. So lovely, it's very dainty, it's very petite. I wanted it to be very feminine. It has this really lovely butter yellow kind of painted throughout, and these beautiful tiles. I love artwork again, so you'll see this Walter Tyndale watercolor sketch that I've hung. Everybody loves it, and I really love it too. And these little random bits of trinkets that I have from eBay, candle. But yeah, all the plumbing here is kind of integrated in a way that's very considerate of how you move through a very small space, a small toilet, so making sure that your arm is not hitting the bathroom sink if you're kind of standing up and leaving the room. So plumbing is an element that I think requires a lot of consideration early on in a scheme and in the design, making sure that they're integrated but coordinated in a way that's really efficient. So I also think lighting is really important in design schemes. Other than the plumbing itself, I think lighting is something that I feel like could really change the mood of a space, can be functional but also ambient. And I think this kitchen and this WC is in the brighter spaces in the home. But I think in the middle and front rooms of the house, it becomes a little bit more ambient, it becomes a little bit more moody, and it serves a different function completely. This is our office space, and it is in the middle room of the house on the ground floor. Oftentimes in terrace homes, this I find becomes quite a dead, redundant space because it kind of links the front back rooms together, so it becomes quite transient and a little bit sad and forgotten about. We had purposely designed this as our office space because we didn't want it to be upstairs. We wanted to make sure that we had easy access to the kitchen, but also to the front door if we ever had anything delivered to us in the day. So we have the standing sit-stand desk. I'm going to show you how it works. And then we can stand and work or sit depending on how we feel. So we work from home a lot, and this is a space that we use to kind of close off doors, make sure it's warm, but also easy access to the kitchen for snack time. So pocket doors are a really, really good design element to consider if there's not enough space or floor space to have hinged doors that kind of take up a lot more real estate that might be more useful for other things. These pocket doors are sourced and reclaimed from eBay, and they're are acoustic seals around the frames itself. So when it's closed, when someone is watching a movie, a really loud one, it's acoustically sealed from the rest of the house. And we refinished, stripped, refinished, and stained these doors ourselves in the back garden when we were renovating at the time. So this is our living room slash snug slash movie space. We have the entire space kitted out with surround sound system. So when the pocket doors are closed, we can have this room to be very, very acoustically isolated, but very cozy and very snug-like. We turn on our massive TV that's on above the fireplace. I have a controversial take, which is I don't think anybody should hide their TV if you love watching TV. We display our TV and we love watching TV. So it becomes a part of the room rather than trying to hide it in a frame. So I'm unashamed about our amount of TV watching. Cool, let's go upstairs. So now we're upstairs and we have 2 bedrooms up here, a master bathroom, as well as a little space for laundry and utility. This is our guest bedroom here. This is one of the spaces that was done when we moved in at the beginning. We wanted to make sure there was a little room that our friends and family can come stay. I often joke that if something went down across the pond in the US, my friends from the States can come and stay here if they ever wanted a place to escape. It's a very, very toned down space, very neutral in color palette, making sure that, again, there's different lighting settings to kind of help with reading by the bed or a main light in the ceiling. We restored the timber windows, we refinished our existing floorboards here. So again, it serves as a guest space for our friends and family. And we have our little laundry space behind me. It has the curtain drawn at the moment because we've got loads of laundry drying. It was laundry day yesterday, so don't get nosy and go in there. But we'll come into my bathroom. We are in our main bathroom on the first floor right now. This is the only bathroom with a shower, so we use the space a lot. It's a very, very hard working space. It's not very big, but it's incredibly functional. Every inch of everything here is very, very calculated. You'll see that we have a full width mirror that enlarges the space spatially, but behind the mirror we also have a demista pad. So whenever I shower, or when any of us showers and it's turned on, it defogs the mirror automatically, which is quite a neat function that we designed in early on. The shower enclosure, I'm not a fan of shower screens. I think they're really gross, especially with London limescale buildup. So shower curtains is just another way that I like to add texture into a bathroom space, especially when it's really hard. A lot of hard surfaces with not a lot of soft textures to balance it out. Yeah, quite a neutral palette, not too much going on. I just wanted it to be a really cute, functional space to kind of facilitate our day-to-day. So we're gonna go to the last space in this floor. We are in our bedroom now. This is the main bedroom of the house. So it's where we sleep, where we hang out. I love waking up here. It's color drenched in this lovely off-white that feels very, very calming. A lot has been done to this room. We had new windows put in, we had doors stripped, put in these lovely tiny double doors that meant not a single hinged leaf door would take up too much of the floor space itself. We refinished this fireplace here that you can see. This is original slate hearth, surround original tile hearth here on the base. And everything about this feature feels so luxurious, and I can't believe we get to sleep with the fire on in the winter. Sometimes it feels like such a little gem and a moment of history that we can represent into our bedroom. These are the IKEA Pax wardrobes that we DIY'd and shoved in there to make it look more built in. We added cornicing, we added skirting to make it, again, a little bit more traditional and in keeping with the heritage of the home. So the space feels a little bit like a my princess room to wake up to. So this bed canopy was a feature that I saw on Instagram. I think there was a little moment where bed canopy came back into fashion, came back into trend. And I was like, what a cheap way to make such a lovely design feature of a room. And I personally don't love headboards. I don't have any headboards in the house. I wanted something like a bed canopy that felt a bit more grand, felt like a really statement piece to anchor the bed, and it draws your eye upwards. It adds so much softness and so much luxury in a very, very cheap way of doing this. I think this probably cost us around £200 to do, and just some ingenuity and some time and effort and energy. I think it turned out great. This is Teddy. I have had him since I was a long time ago. I think he's probably 15 years old. In keeping of my secondhand dives, he is from a charity shop and I picked him up. He becomes my neck pillow rather than a traditional neck pillow. He's very good, and you'll see his head leans onto one side because he's been shaped to the way that I sleep. So love him. His name's Teddy, obviously. Thank you so much for coming on my house tour today. It was so lovely showing you guys here. If you want to see more of my stuff, you can find me on Instagram for Doing Up Denby. Otherwise, we also filmed a behind the design episode, so stay tuned and I'll see you there. See ya.
Hi Interior Design Show, I'm Brian Wolf, founder and creative director of Design by Wolf. Come on in and I'll show you around my London pied à terre. I have taken the ceilings back up to their original heights. If I'm cooking in the evening, I do want to be able to see the TV. The sofa, again, a custom design from our studio. Welcome to my boudoir.